Well, Tyrone Bledsoe, founder, CEO of SAAB, Student African American Brotherhood, and we're just excited that this vision is being realized. 21 years ago, we started this work, and we're in a whole different place, way beyond where I thought we would be.
SAAB means that it's possible. SAAB means that there are hundreds of and thousands of young men across this country who can achieve at a very high level. Once we invest in them, we support them, and if it's possible for SAAB to and those who work with SAAB to create this type of culture.
SAAB represents an initiative, a movement around excellence. And that's the thing that I took away from SAAB, and that's what I tried to instill in brothers. It represents the expectation. Although you may have come from a certain background, although you may have a 2.0, although your father may not be in your life, we will grant you resources to begin to be successful, and then give you the expectation that you will be successful because we won't allow you to fail.
I'm the Associate Vice President for Student Success at Cal State University Dominguez Hills, and my affiliation with SAAB actually came through my interview. That's how I first got exposed to SAAB, and I came to the conference about a year ago, and life was immediately changed. Even though there were messages for the young men, they were talking to the boy inside the man, and I thought, man, if I had had that experience. And so it was so ridiculous. I said, we're going to get a chapter by any means necessary, and I will have a group of young men here this year. And so that's and now we're a brother-to-brother chapter at Cal State University Dominguez Hills, so I'm real proud of that.
I don't know what could have, been better for me than SAAB. It's really given me that second chance that I was looking for. And I think my dad says that everything happens for a reason. It's fate, and it was my fate to go to that community college and to be a part of SAAB. And what it means to the world is this has been going on for 21 years, and we're seeing progress. But we still have to keep going.
Well, I say that your desire is your offense, and that your will is your defense. And if you exercise your desire and your will, you can achieve your goal. You can win with either or. You've seen football teams and basketball teams that weren't good on offense, but had strong enough defense that they overcompensated for it. I think once we identify these are the two characteristics as a part of our DNA, then we can move forward. And that's what I always tell them. I always say we got one team called Desire, we got one team called Will. Even when I break guys up into groups, we operate from that system. And I do it because it's a consistent protocol that we use in Africa. We use language that's consistent to where we want to go and not to who we are right now.
One of my famous quotes is, swagger without character is false advertisement. And I teach young men, I really have them just, really charged up about their image, and they say, man, I'm going back home and I'm throwing this away and I'm going to add that and buy that and put this together with that. And so although I'm happy that they're concerned about redefining their image, I let them know that the true image of a man doesn't begin with what he wears on his back, but it begins with his character and integrity. And I teach them to make sure that the essence of who you are is your first priority, that you don't spend more time on what you're going to wear as opposed to who you are as a man.
Speaking on the brotherhood, when you look at, say your relatives, whether you have a sister and you're a boy, that's still a brotherhood. That's still a communication, because a brotherhood, all it entitles is communication. Making sure you guys are on task with one another, making sure you guys are focused. When you call something a brotherhood, that's a family, as a unit. You look at what they are, what they value, and what they represent.
We've all gone through struggles. We all have difficulties, but we all haven't let it out, addressed it, or tried to deal with it. And too many of us are pretending we're dealing with it by not talking about it, by not addressing it. I go to the extreme because I have to set the example in front of hundreds, thousands sometimes, if I even dare expect anyone to open up. So the reason I've become such an open book about my shortcomings, my mistakes, my errors, is to help the students not repeat the mistakes that I'm committing, but even more so to let them know they're not the only ones.
The reason that my message today was, who do you think you are, is because whatever you focus on has power. And if you think that you belong at those tables and that you deserve that job and that you are capable and able, then you will be. And if you think something different, then you won't be. But it's not the situation that made it. It's what you think of yourself that's it. That is the difference between whether you count yourself out of an opportunity or whether you walk right into it.
I told you I would not what? Let you fail. Isn't that powerful? How many people have ever told you that? I would not.
This is family. It's like a family reunion. And every year, most families have family reunion. You look forward to the family reunion to reconnect, to fellowship, share stories, get refreshed, if you will, re-empowered.
I say one of the things that's really unique about the Student African American Brotherhood is not just Dr. Bledsoe who embodies it, but this attitude that I am my brother's keeper, right? And together we shall rise. That's just such a powerful idea to have in your head and in your heart.